The air in the kitchen was thick with the scent of burnt toast, a bitter tang that clung to my throat as I stared at the text message glowing on my wife's phone. "You'll never be her real dad, stop pretending." My hands trembled, the phone's cold glass slipping against my sweaty palm. 10 years of marriage, a decade of shared laughter, tears and promises, and now this. A single sentence slicing through my reality like a jagged blade. Who was her? Our daughter Lily? The child I'd raised since she was 2, her tiny hand clutching mine as we navigated playgrounds and bedtime stories? My chest tightened, a vice of betrayal squeezing my heart. I set the phone down on the counter, its screen still lit, the words searing into my vision. The house was quiet, save for the faint hum of the refrigerator and the distant chirp of crickets outside. Sarah was upstairs, tucking Lily into bed, her soft voice murmuring lullabies through the baby monitor. I wanted to storm up there, demand answers, but my legs felt anchored to the floor. Doubt crept in, a venomous whisper. Maybe it was a mistake, a misdirected message, a cruel joke. But the sender's name, Mark, glowed like a warning flare. Mark, her high school sweetheart, the one she swore she'd cut contact with years ago. The memory of last month's dinner party flickered in my mind. Mark had been there, uninvited, lingering too long by the punch bowl, his eyes tracking Sarah's every move. I'd brushed it off, chalking it up to nostalgia, but now the image of his sly grin twisted into something sinister. Had I missed the signs? The late-night work calls, her sudden need for space after arguments, the way she'd started locking her phone? Each memory was a pinprick, sharp and cumulative, drawing blood from my trust. I paced the kitchen, the linoleum cold under my bare feet, the clock ticking toward midnight. The message wasn't just a betrayal. It was a theft, of my identity as Lily's father, of the family I'd built. Anger surged, hot and reckless, but it collided with a deeper ache, love. I still loved Sarah, her crooked smile, the way she hummed off-key while cooking. Could I confront her without shattering everything? The thought of losing her, losing Lily, made my stomach lurch. I needed answers, but I dreaded them just as much. The stairs creaked as Sarah descended, her silhouette framed by the dim hallway light. She froze when she saw me holding her phone, her eyes widening for a fraction of a second before narrowing into something guarded. "Why are you snooping?" she asked, her voice low, almost accusatory. The question stung, flipping the script, making me feel like the intruder in my own home. Who's Mark sending messages to? I shot back, my voice sharper than intended. I held up the phone, the screen now dark but the words branded in my mind. Her face paled, and she crossed her arms, a defensive shield. "It's not what you think," she said, but her voice wavered, a crack in her usual confidence. "Then explain it," I demanded, stepping closer. The space between us felt like a chasm. "Who's her? Lily. Is she not mine?" The question clawed its way out, raw and jagged, tearing at the air. Sarah's eyes darted away, landing on the fridge where Lily's crayon drawings hung. Stick figures of us, a family of 3, smiling under a lopsided sun. "It's complicated," she whispered, her fingers twisting the hem of her sweater. Complicated. The word was a dagger, vague yet piercing. I wanted to scream, to shake her until the truth spilled out, but her trembling lips stopped me. She looked small, fragile, like the woman I'd comforted after her mother's death. Not the one unraveling my world. Complicated how? I pressed, my voice softening despite the storm inside me. She hesitated, then sat at the kitchen table, gesturing for me to join her. I didn't move. The distance felt safer, a buffer against whatever she'd say next. "Mark's been in touch," she began, her words slow, deliberate. "He reached out a few months ago. Said he was going through a rough time, needed a friend." A friend. The phrase was a slap, too casual for the weight it carried. "I didn't tell you because I knew you'd overreact." Overreact. I laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. "He's texting you about our daughter, Sarah. Telling me I'm not her dad. That's not a friendly chat." My voice cracked, betraying the hurt I couldn't hide. Her eyes glistened, tears pooling but not falling. And for a moment, I wanted to believe her, to cling to the life we'd built. "He's wrong," she said, her voice firmer now. "Lily is yours. You've raised her, loved her. Mark's he's jealous, bitter. He thinks he can stir things up." Her words were a lifeline, but they didn't erase the doubt. Why was she talking to him at all? Why keep it secret? Then why hide it? I asked, my hands gripping the counter's edge, the wood biting into my palms. Why's he texting you at midnight? The question hung heavy. The silence that followed louder than any answer. Her gaze dropped, and in that moment I saw it. The guilt, the flicker of something she couldn't hide. It was a mistake, she whispered, barely audible. A few weeks ago, after we fought, I met him for coffee. It was stupid, emotional. Nothing happened, I swear, but he's been pushing ever since, trying to make it more. Her words tumbled out, a desperate rush, but they didn't soothe me. They painted a picture. Stolen moments, shared secrets, a crack in our vows widening into a fracture. Nothing happened? I echoed, my voice rising. You're sneaking around with your ex, and I'm supposed to believe it's nothing? The kitchen felt smaller, the walls closing in, the air thick with unspoken truths. I thought of Lily upstairs, her soft snores crackling through the monitor, oblivious to the storm below. I stopped it, Sarah insisted, standing now, her hands outstretched. I told him to leave me alone. That text, he's lashing out because I rejected him. Her eyes pleaded, but I saw the lie in the way her fingers twitched, the way she couldn't meet my gaze for long. There was more, something she wasn't saying. The phone buzzed again, a sharp vibration against the counter. We both froze, the sound a gunshot in the quiet. I grabbed it before she could, the screen lighting up with another message from Mark. You can't keep lying to him. Tell him the truth about us. My vision blurred, the words swimming as my heart pounded in my ears. The truth. Not just coffee, not just a mistake. Something deeper, something that had been festering while I played the devoted husband and father. Us. I choked out, turning the phone toward her. Her face crumpled, a mix of fear and resignation, and in that moment I knew. The betrayal wasn't just a moment of weakness. It was a secret life, a parallel world where I didn't exist. How long? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. She didn't answer, but her silence was deafening. The kitchen clock ticked, each second a hammer against my chest. I thought of Lily, her laughter, her trust in me as her dad. Was it all a lie? The room spun, and I stumbled back, the phone slipping from my hand, clattering to the floor. I'm sorry, Sarah sobbed, reaching for me, but I recoiled. The woman I loved was a stranger now, her betrayal a wound that would never fully heal. But as the pain roared through me, a colder realization settled in. Lily wasn't mine, not by blood, and Sarah had known all along. The twist wasn't just her infidelity. It was the decade-long deception, the life I'd built on a foundation of lies, now crumbling beneath my feet.